we are officially on YouTube. If you are listening out there on any of those social media platforms and want to get to something a little bit quicker, YouTube is your best bet. Definitely subscribe to the Crowning Moment podcast channel, as well as put that ring notification on so you'll know every time that I post. Our updated posting schedule will be 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday, so make sure you're checking out Crowning Moment every Monday. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crowning Moment. For those who may not know me, my name is Casey Gibson. I have been doing pageantry for the past 18, almost 19 years now, and I will be competing in my last pageant at the end of July, so definitely be checking out at Crowning Moment Podcast on Instagram and at Casey Grace Gibson, CASEY. Casey Grace Gibson on Instagram and Facebook to follow my journey. So let's get into today's episode. We're going to be talking about the don'ts of pageantry. So I have been writing down my don'ts after going to many pageants this past summer, as well as been competing for over 18 years, almost 19 years now. I've got my own don'ts of pageantry, and these are simply just all around. These are for contestants, these are for directors, these are for parents, these are for whoever is a spectator of pageantry. So this is just one of those things I want to start off with. Kindness goes a long way in pageantry. This is a community of making network and friendships, and lifelong friendships at that. So making sure that you are being kind to those is a number one. I know this is the don'ts of pageantry, but I definitely want to start off with just the message of kindness goes really far for people, anyone. Just being nice, simply just saying thank you, opening a door for someone, allowing them to speak their truths and not judging them off of anything goes a long way. So let's get into the don'ts of pageantry. So let's talk about the sponsor side of things. Don't forget to thank your sponsors, supporters, regardless of the outcome. A lot of people will, have dress sponsors or any type of sponsors, and they just don't thank them. You have to remember that these people are going above and beyond for you. I get sometimes you're paying them big bucks to go above and beyond for you, but everyone is making a living here. Pageantry is a luxury item, and that's something that I had never heard before until being at a pageant last week. They were talking about how pageantry is luxury. Like, this is an expensive sport, and I don't say that lightly. A sport. You are getting physically and mentally fit while also having to put up huge financials for this. Being someone that's paying for all their own stuff in pageantry, because I am an adult now, so that's what I have to do, it's not cheap. And I have gotten really creative with how I do things. I may not be able to afford those expensive earrings, but there's always someone else out there that's selling a similar pair for way cheaper. So just do your research on things, but don't forget to give credit to those who have helped you along your journey. Win or lose, no matter the outcome. I know I'm someone that, as soon as the pageant's over, you think about, okay, well, I'm done. I just want to chill for a couple days, let my brain settle, just go back to normal. And then thank them a day later. Go ahead and have that post written up. Go ahead and just, type it in your notes, get it ready, and make sure you post about them. And make sure you post about everyone, because I promise you, they notice. And they will be so butthurt if you don't post about them. And some people just shrug it off like it never happened, but some people will never let you live it down. So just be prepared for that. So the don'ts of pageantry, make sure that you say thank you to your sponsors, and don't forget that. Don't not practice walking in your evening gown. If we learn nothing from Miss USA this year, is that, no matter where you're going to go, you better know how to walk downstairs. And that's something that you would have never thought would be that difficult. But watching girls in really slinky tight gowns crawl down the stairs at Miss USA, you best believe that putting your heels on and walking downstairs in your house, your grandma's house, the local, community theater, wherever you're practicing, is a must. So do not forget to practice in that evening gown as well. And that's simply just walking around your house. As soon as you get that gown and the correct heels for it, and even your earrings, throw it all on. You don't have to be pageant ready, but just put it on and make sure you feel comfortable in everything that you're wearing, especially for evening gown, because your skirt may get tangled up and you don't realize it. Just don't let yourself be that girl that wasn't ready. So practice, practice, practice. I don't know how else to tell you, but seriously, practice. Don't experiment with new hairstyles the week of the pageant. I am someone, I get, you want to give them looks. And I know I've been to many coaches that say you need to give them looks. You know, you make sure that they are always caught off guard. But sometimes caught off guard and looking good while caught off guard are two different things. So don't be trying to switch it up the week of a pageant when that's just not your look. Because one, you're not going to feel your most confident. You need to make sure that you've had time to try all your new hairstyles. If you want them, go ahead. Practice ahead of time. I know that sounds weird, but try your makeup looks. Last year when I was competing for a national pageant, I tried each makeup look because I wanted to do my makeup myself. I ultimately ended up having someone do it for me, and I kick myself because I'm like, I know what I can do, and now, I trust my skills, and I've always trusted my skills. So if you know how to do your own hair and makeup, you've been trained by professionals, you do it. Don't let someone else, here's another don't for you, don't let someone else doubt your abilities when you know that you have strong abilities in that hair and makeup range. Don't let it. All right, moving forward. Don't travel the day of the pageant. Traveling to pageant activities just is crazy as a whole. If you live close by or something, totally fine. You make sure that you give yourself enough time. But if you are staying in a hotel for a full week pageant or weekend pageant, go ahead and get there the night earlier. I know it's more expensive. Staying in hotels or staying anywhere but your house is super expensive, but go ahead, fundraise just a little bit more because it's going to save you so much more time and you won't be as stressed. I promise you. Going back to, working on your stuff, don't wait until the pageant to break in your new heels. You may have an introduction or a, opening number that you need to dance in those heels for, and you may think, well, I never thought I was going to have to dance in these heels. Girl, at least try some steps, at least walk to some Dua Lipa, pretend like you're dancing, doing some dance moves. Make sure that you know that you can A, dance in these shoes, and B, that you're going to be able to walk in them easy breezy, not a problem. So do not wait until the pageant day to break in those heels. Also, do not forget to pack snacks. When we're going to these pageants, always have a bag with you. And in this bag, it should have, if you have a sash or a crown, bring it. Even if they tell you you're not using your crown, you never know if little Sally, Mae, and Nicole next to you want to take a picture with their crown on, and they go, oh, well, you don't have your crown, you can't be in our picture. Oh, no, girl, we're prepared for everything. So don't you forget to bring your bag full of goodies. You got Band-Aids, have like a little survival kit. Little Band-Aids, a pair of heels to practice it on stage. If you're going to a pageant practice, you are bringing your heels to that pageant practice. I don't care if they're your baby heels or your full-on evening gown heels, 6-inch whatnots. Bring it. Bring you your snacks. Do not forget those snacks. And make sure you have a bag just put all in. And, of course, a zip-up jacket. Hear me again. A zip-up jacket or even a shawl just to put on while you're waiting for this. Because, pageants, you're walking on stage for more than 2 to 3 hours. And you have to be at the place way earlier than expected. So just make sure you're bringing light snacks, a little bit of water. Don't do anything where you're going to need to leave the room. Like, Starbucks is great, but if Starbucks is going to give you a little tummy ache, don't do it. You do not need to be having a whole bowel movement while they're doing something that's important on stage. I know that's gross, but if I don't say it and you don't think about it, you're probably going to do it. All right, don't speak negatively of the pageant contestants or anyone affiliated with the pageant system. The pageant world is small, and you do not want to be blacklisted or prevented from competing in any future pageants. So, for this goes to say, if you don't get along with a sponsor, you smile. I'm not telling you to be fake. Absolutely not. If they've done you dirty or they've just been terrible to you, you let God deal with that one. That is between them and God. That is a box that they take with them to leave. However, you smile, you thank them for being a sponsor of the pageant, and you make sure that you tell everyone, thank you so much for being here. Shake all the sponsors' hands. Make sure you tell the director it's so nice to finally meet them if you hadn't met them yet. Make sure that you are thanking those people. Do not speak negatively about the pageant itself. If you don't like one of the staff members or you don't like a state director, oh well. Oh well. Do you want to be this national title holder? Yes or no? Do you really truly believe in the system? Yes or no? These are real questions you need to ask yourself. If you do not like these people, why are you choosing and willing to work with them for a year plus? That's a great question. All right. Don't wear a high-low dress for evening gown. I have actually seen this so many times done, whether it be middle school pageants, festival pageants. It is more of a fun fashion look. Who am I to tell you what to wear? However, in years and years and years of experience, as well as helping design my own gowns and designing gowns for other people, a high-low gown has never been in the books, girlfriend. And usually, if your gown doesn't touch the floor and you're an older girl, as in junior miss and above or junior teen and above, they're going to take off points because they're not wanting to see your toes coming out your little nude heels. They want to see that gown touch the ground, and that's where your points will be. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. Just, keep those high lows for the fun fashion, the cute frilly skirts. That's where that stays. Also, this one's just a big major one. I have seen so many people, and I have done this one time and one time only before I went into an interview. Do not forget to take off the hair tie on your wrist. Do not. Unless you have some, band on that's for a cause, or it's like a breast cancer band or something that has to pertain to your platform or to your well-being of maybe you have a medical bracelet on. Keep that. That is perfectly fine. But if you just have a hair tie or an Apple Watch, take it off. Just take it off. It's going to be distracting, and you never know. Somebody could call you in the middle of your interview, and you just have your Apple Watch going ding, ding. That is annoying, and that is really going to throw the entire interview for you because you're freaking out mentally that, oh my goodness, my Apple Watch is going off. I am so sorry. And they're like, well, she's unprepared. So make sure to take off any sort of wristbands that need to be removed, and don't walk in with a hair tie. Do not wear a hair tie on your wrist on stage. Do not. There was a girl this past week at a national pageant that did that, and I was just inside just oh my goodness, who is her tribe of people, and how did the girls around her not tell her to take that off? Also, be a good girl out there, and if the girl in front of you has a hair tie hanging out or hanging on her wrist, or she has one of her little white straps that's hanging out the dress, tuck it in. If she's got a tag hanging out, tuck it in. Funny side story of don'ts. In August of last year, when I was competing for Miss America's United States, I had done my own hair and makeup. Everything looked great. I looked fabulous. And I had one of those, silver pins to hold my bump in the front of my hair flip up until I went on stage for stuff. And we're all in line, we're looking at each other everybody's good. And at the time, someone had told me hey, make sure you take this out before you go on stage. And I said, oh, don't worry, I won't forget about it. When I tell you I forgot about it, and there is a picture of me, and I will post it with this on Instagram so you can see it, and you can clearly see the silver pen because it's shining from where the light of the stage hit it. It's hilarious, but nobody ever noticed. We moved on with their lives, but I knew. But the thing was, everyone around me, we're oh, how's my lips, how's my teeth, everybody checking everybody. I'm checking girls. I'm oh, you look great, you look fantastic. And not one of them told me, do you know you have a silver clip in your hair? None of them. Not a single one. And I'm not giving them a bad rap or talking, mess, but I would do it for you. So make sure to give kindness to everyone, no matter what. Even if you think she is your biggest competition, you smile at that girl because you never know what someone's dealing with on the inside, no matter what, inside of pageantry, outside of pageantry. And I'm not saying one silver clip was going to change that, but it was funny looking back, but Don't let the girl behind you or the girl in front of you or any of the girls in your group go out looking a crazy mess. Just don't. Be the bigger and nicer person. Be kind. It goes a long way. All right. Also, talking about posting photos behind scenes. Okay, so sometimes when you're in these big rooms, they have multiple mirrors. And if you're taking a mirror selfie, there may be someone in the background changing. So do not take pictures behind the scenes. And some pageants will tell you, this is a no-no, do not do this, please. And they're serious because you could get charged if this person is under the age and you've posted this online. You're going to get put on a list. Like, that's not good. Do not do that. And I know that may sound very extreme, but seriously, it's fun to take pictures with your friends and stuff. Take it while you're in rehearsals. Take it while you're out front by the banners. Take it anywhere else except for where people are changing. Take it in the makeup room. If the makeup people allow it, make sure you're always asking. Just ask. And if they say no, respect that and build a bridge and get over it. Just move on. You can take more pictures anywhere else. Also, last but certainly not least, do not shower in the morning. You're probably thinking, Casey, what are you talking about? I just got back from walking 200 and something kilometers from Portugal to Spain, and I knew this before when my brother had walked the Camino, that you do not shower in the morning because the moisture in your feet is still there. And if you immediately put socks on and put a tennis shoe on, you're going to get blisters. Without a doubt, no questions asked. So it's all about the moisture barrier in your feet. So when you're putting on heels and it's rubbing in multiple places, you're going to get blisters on the back, on your toes. So just do not shower in the morning. If you have a spray tan, get it that morning, shower that evening. All you need is 8 hours or 10 hours to get that spray tan ready where it needs to go. Do not, I promise you, I'm trying to save your feet one blister at a time. But also, on top of, not showering, do not forget to coat your feet in some sort of deodorant. I know that sounds weird, so weird, but I have a specific one. It's called Foot Glide. You can get it at REI or any sort of academy, any sports stores. They probably have it at Dick's Sporting Good, any of those like that. It's called Foot Glide, and it's like a little pink tube or a little blue or a little purple tube. It just depends on your scent or flavor you want. Get that and put it on the sides of your ankles, the back of your heels, underneath your foot, on top of your toes, making sure you're coating it. So think about it like deodorant. If you put deodorant with antiperspirant on it, you're not going to sweat. So put that on your feet, and your feet won't sweat. Therefore, you're not going to have blisters. So you're welcome. Casey here to the rescue for your pageant feet. But I hope you guys enjoyed my don'ts of pageantry. And kindness goes a very long way. I hope that you are having a fantastic week already. I have been on the go nonstop, and I'm getting ready to go to USA National Miss next week, and then I will be going to Miss Texas USA, and then final destination of the Ideal Miss Pageant in Alpharetta, Georgia. And then I will actually be off to compete at Miss Global USA. So make sure you're staying up to date on our socials at Crowning Moment Podcast and at my personal social at Casey Grace Gibson, CASEY at Casey Grace Gibson. But for now, guys, you never know what happens in the future. So I guess you'll have to check out next week on another episode of The Crowning Moment. Bye, guys.